So here, Ricardo is all about if one country is efficient than the other country, it would benefit the other one. This is the basic principle of your theory. So
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, there is a student waiting outside it seems.
Student waiting outside where?
Outside the class, ma'am. Out the meeting.
Outside the class, outside the meeting. Okay. Ask him to join now.
Ma'am, he has given asked permission, ma'am. We must only accept them.
I didn't receive yet, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Ask him to come again.
Okay, ma'am. I'll just call him and say.
Yeah. Somebody has joined this now. Now shall we proceed or should we wait for someone else? See, for those who have joined late, kindly be on time to class. I'm not going
Ma'am, no, ma'am. He was in the class, ma'am. But what happened is he got some net issues, so he got this.
Able to cooperate with me, I'll be able to finish it as fast as I can because it is kind of disturbing. Few joins and few leaves. I can understand there is network issue, but try to be on time. So now we'll proceed with our comparison differences in cost.
Yes, ma'am.
Now we can see that India has comparative cost advantage in production of both cotton and tea, but in terms of opportunity cost, in India the cost of 1 ton of cotton is equal to 10 tons of tea. So in China the cost of 1 ton of cotton is equal to 15 tons of tea. So therefore here we can clearly see that India has a comparative advantage in the production of cotton, and China has got comparative advantage in the production of tea. So if India is able to specialize in cotton production and China in tea, there will be higher production of both the products. So which means this would benefit both the countries. So always go back to your first theory. What is your first theory? That is your absolute advantage theory. Okay. So try to relate the concepts with your absolute advantage theory, but the baseline for all these theories is one. Fine. What is that one line? That is, if one country is more efficient than the other in production, it will benefit the country which has got less efficiency. So that is how basically an international trade will happen. So apart from all these things, there is something called criticism. So what is the criticism? So whenever I propose a theory, or anybody for that matter, if anybody proposes a theory, there will be some criticism. Not everybody will agree with whatever I say. Few will have doubts, few will have questions, or few will even say that there are certain things which is not being included in the theory. So all those questions and all those doubts will come under your section criticism. So let us see what are the criticisms found in this theory. So first criticism is people say that it is too simple.
Ma'am, you are not audible, ma'am.
And yes. Now am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So shall I start the criticism again or shall I proceed?
Ma'am.
Shall I proceed with the criticism
ma'am,
or should I start?
Yes, ma'am. You can continue with the criticism.
Okay, fine. So your first criticism is people say that the theory is very, very simple. And you can even see that whatever example I've given you, we would have considered only 2 countries and only 2 products. But when you take the reality, what happens? Are we running our life only with 2 products? Or the international trade is only with 2 products? No, right? We've got hell a lot of products and hell a lot of things are happening in your international trade. So all these things are not included in the theory. So people say it is simple and practically it cannot be accepted by everybody. And the countries, whatever we take, in first theory we spoke about Brazil and India. Now we are talking about India and China, as if no other countries are involved in the trade at all. So people say it is only two countries are involved with two commodities. So that is your first criticism. So the next one is mobility of factors of production. We are only talking about the trade. Nobody is talking about production. Will we be able to exactly produce 150 tons of tea or rice or whatever examples we see? So there are here and there mismatches. So that is your second criticism. Next one is there is one particular factor called the labor. So we are in the discussion.
Repeat the second criticism now.
Second criticism is mobility of factors of production. We are talking about the production here. So you can first one you can just write only two products and two countries in short forms, right? I'll try to send you the notes, so you need not worry. Okay, but your notes are very vague. So if you are able to take short notes, it will be easy for you during your exam time. Your exam point of view will be easy. So your second point, you can write mobility of factors of production is incorrect. Just like right, factors of production is incorrect. So your third point is about the labor employment. We are not discussing about, we were talking about how many tons we are going to produce or how many kgs we are going to produce. But we did not discuss about a main factor which is called labor. Though it is a machinery produced product or which is a handmade product, let it be anything. Labor is one important ingredient which has to be included in your trade. So your labor employment factor is missing. So that is your third criticism. Next one is the cost. Whatever cost which is incurred, let it be for labor, land, capital or transport. All these things are ignored. They haven't even considered about the cost which has to be spent for labor, land, capital and transport. This is your fourth point. Labor cost, land cost, capital and transport costs are ignored. So next point is, it only considers the supply side of the trade. Demand side is ignored. Which means we are only talking about if I am able to produce, that country will buy. If that country is able to produce this much, I will be able to buy. We are only talking about the supply. But we haven't discussed about demand. Do we have that much demand? No, we don't have. So these are the factors which are completely ignored. So supply side is only considered, demand side is ignored. That will be your fifth criticism. So your sixth criticism, assumption of cost of production is not true in real life. We can say this is the cost ratio. So this is 1:10, 1:15. All those things are mere assumptions. When you come into reality, there are so many things which have to be considered when you calculate the cost of production. So the assumption of cost of production is not true in real life, which means it is not practical. So your next point is, your seventh point is factor of technology. Technology is completely ignored because few countries will have upper hand in technology. Few would not even know what is technology exactly. As we can take ourselves as example. When you compare with other countries like Japan, China, still we are developing in terms of technology. Likewise, in this theory, we haven't considered a factor called technology as it varies from one country to the other, which is based on the availability. So just like technology, factor of technology is ignored. So your eighth point will be, the theory assumes free trade. Now am I audible? Seventh point you all wrote, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So eighth point is, the theory assumes free trade among countries. We are only talking about free trade among countries. We can achieve free trade. These are the constant points we are talking in each and every theory. But in reality, there are barriers which are attached to free trade. We can even say that in today's concept, it is actually diminishing. The concept of free trade is actually diminishing. Only the country it is in good terms or in good books with the other country, here we can able to achieve free trade. Then too, there are certain policies which are attached to it. This right, the theory assumes free trade. In reality, there are barriers attached to it. I'll repeat once again. The theory assumes free trade, but in reality, there are barriers attached to it. So the last point is transportation cost, which we already discussed in point 4, the fourth criticism. We have just included transport cost in 4th point. So 9th point also says about it, because the transportation cost will be higher when compared to all the other costs. But again, it depends on the production and what product you actually produce. So this is what your criticism of this theory is all about. So when discussing about your absolute advantage theory, there is something called assumptions. Do you want me to take assumptions now? We had just had a short discussion about it. Do you want me to have an elaborate discussion on assumptions of absolute advantage theory? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Just write assumptions of absolute advantage theory. Assumptions of absolute advantage theory. So your first, a commodity. Cost of a commodity was determined by the relative amount of labor. Cost of a commodity was determined by the relative amount of labor involved in its production. Determined by the relative amount of labor involved in its production. Full stop. Please continue. Labor is considered to be the only factor of production. Labor is considered to be the only factor of production. So this is your first assumption. So assumptions in a theory is basically on what basis we are creating a theory. The examples, whatever we saw. For India, rice and Brazil, coffee and all we discussed, right? So these are basically the assumptions. So the second point is labor is mobile. Labor is mobile within the country, but in between countries. Labor is mobile within countries, but immobile between countries. So the third assumption is there are no barriers to trade in goods. There are no barriers to trade in goods. So the fourth point is there are constant returns to scale. There are constant returns to scale. The last assumption is trade between two countries, it takes place if each of the two countries has absolutely lower cost absolutely lower cost in the production of one of them. Trade between two countries would take place if each of the two countries has absolutely lower cost in the production of one of them. So when you read each point, you can always relate it to the theories that we discussed in absolute advantage. Is the class web available now? I need an answer. If the class web is available now.
Lakshit is not there, but Rahul is there. But I think he is in the meeting.
Just a second, Leela. One of your friends is here. Yes. Yes, Elizabeth. How many of you have come? So all of you meet your class teacher, give your attendance. I am not recording it here, okay? You can give it to the class teacher. Shall we have a manual attendance now? I mean, I'll just call out your names, just give me your number. I think your numbers are attached with your IDs. Just give me an X or no. In your present reference, please help me out, okay? So number 1, Yash is here, right?
They're not so loud now. Very light. Audio is very low.
Voice is very low. I think some
Now it's okay, ma'am. Now it's okay.
I've connected with my Bluetooth properly. That is the reason. I need to note of your attendance, please. Yeah. I made a note of it. Number 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Rajeshwari is here. Okay. 4, Darshit.
Yes, ma'am.
5, Harsh. Number 5, Harsh Jain.